ladies and gentlemen, an unlikely alliance has formed. The forces of the Chaos Space Marines and the Space Wolves, who were long at war on this planet over the contents of the spilt overnight bag of the Emperor himself. You can see the strewn remnants of it here, and over there, and all about the place. But why are they teaming up now? It's because, just as they were in the heat of battle, they heard a thunderous sound coming from the east. It sounded a little bit like that, and the cause of it is... bum bum bum. The biggest abomination to ever clank its way onto this planet. Stomper. Killer cans. Tanks with big guns on them. Walkie things.
Walking huts.
And the stars of the show. Grots. So, of course, faced with this green tide, this menace on the planet that could potentially trample these ancient sacred hygiene artifacts into the ground, the two sides have decided to team up. Because, of course, they don't want them to fall into orc hands because they want them for themselves, and they know if they don't team up, they're going to get stomped into oblivion. So, 3,500 points per side. Shall we start with the forces of Chaos? What have they got today to fend off this green menace?
Got 2 dreadnoughts, Hellbrutes, both twin-link las cannons and missile launchers. We have a Chaos Vindicator with Havoc launcher, Predator, which is twin-linked all-round las cannons. We have a Warpsmith hiding in between there, who's basically my HQ model. Over in this Rhino, I've got a squad of Chaos Chosen, which is this squad here, led by yet another Warpsmith. Hello. Hiding in this building.
He doesn't sound like that.
No, he does. Yeah, he's awfully kind.
Hello.
In this building, we've got a squad of Havocs with 2 las cannons, 2 missile launchers. In this Rhino is a squad of your standard Chaos Space Marines with 2 melter guns. Mincing around in this building, looking all pink and mincy, is Chaos Obliterator with lots of crazy obliterator weapons. And then in reserve, I have got a Helldrake.
The giant chicken of chaos.
You look nothing like a chicken. You tell him, Bob.
And what have the Space Wolves got in this unholy alliance?
So, Space Wolves, we've got 2 dreadnoughts at the bottom of that building. Got Murderfang up at the top of the building. Vindicator. Predator, twin link, las cannon all around as well. Land Raider with a squad of Grey Hunters inside. Then we've got Wolf Lord kitted out, and 3 Thunderwolf cavalry to soak up wounds. And then in reserve I've got the Storm Wolf with another unit of 10 Grey Hunters inside.
And I don't think we actually mentioned the Chaos Cultists, which are quite delightfully painted, I think you'll agree. Some expert pro painter must have done that.
Picasso, eat your heart out.
Okay, it's time to move on to the main course. So, if you'd like to describe the forces of the Orks,
Okay, well,
starting at this end.
The rusty tide that we have, we've got, first and foremost,
We've got a steel in the ship.
we've got a big track with super cannon. Then we have another big track with another super cannon, 4 twin-lit big shooters and a zap gun. We've then got 30 grots. We've then got Death Dread. Got Morkanaut with custom force field, custom mega blasters all over it.
And
loads
a
of
big belly.
shooters.
A big belly on that
His
as well.
big tummy, yeah, it does open up. There's nothing inside of there, unfortunately. Moving across them, we've got another Death Dread. We've got Killer Cans. We've got another Death Dread over there. We've also got a Mech Boy Junker with Death Roller and Custom Force Field and 3 big shooters. Next to that, we also have another big track with Super Cannon. The gigantic thing in the background as well, that is a Stomper, if you hadn't guessed it. Inside it is 10 looters. They're all going to shoot out at it. Obviously, it's weaponry. It's got 2 super rockets. It's got its super mega belly cannon of death. It's got its strength D close combat weapon. It's also got a load of other shooters and scorchers and various other nasty little bits that are designed to kill, maim, and burn, or basically do a good crump. So go and umi crump him. Then that's basically it for what we got at the beginning, because the force was so big that we actually had to put a bunch of stuff in reserves.
Have you told us what we've got inside the Stomper?
Yeah, looters. Oh, and the big mech as well inside there, which is giving the Stomper 5+ invulnerable save.
Lovely. So what have we got in reserve on the side of the Orcs?
In reserve, we've got a truck with some cyborg slashers in, led by their doc. Well, he's a mech in this list because I prefer mechs to docs, and they look better. We've then got a Mega Dread with 3 Scorchers, 2 Super Scorchers. We've then got another Mega Dread. That's just standard Mega Dread. I've given him an extra big shooter on this one. He's also got his kill cannon and his close combat weapon. We then got Jury Lifter Wagon here, which has got his lifter dropper and big shooter. And then we have the Ork Patchy helicopter, which is, for all intents and purposes, a dakka jet with flyboss and an extra super gatler.
Right then. So, with all that orky goodness, you would assume that the Chaos and Space Wolf Alliance are going to try to steal some initiative right now. So, let's have it right about here.
It's on you, John. It's all on you. You best get 6.
This roll is a kind of game-breaking roll, because I think if we don't steal the initiative, we're going to be in a lot of trouble.
The lucky green dice. Here it goes.
We should have those dice. Oh shit! Son. I saw a 6 in that bounce then. I was like, no.
Don't steal the initiative. So.
Oh,
you would have got it if only they'd rolled the black dice.
Shoulda,
instead.
woulda, coulda.
So we'll get back to you with some smouldering craters on this side of the table at the end of turn 1. Okay, Orc turn 1. Everything advanced up a little bit.
Just a smidge.
Just a tad, and it should be pointed out at this stage that the most apt objective card of all time came up. We got overwhelming firepower, which means we have to try and destroy enemy units with shooting, and we were quietly confident that with all this we may be able to bring something down, and we did. But first things first, this big groinal attachment cannon on the Stomper fired all the way over here into this general area and cleared out a few cultists and immobilised the Land Raider. So that's not very nice for them.
Isn't the Land Raider down to 1 hull point as well?
They just lost 1 hull
point. I just lost 1 hull
point. Lost a hull point and immobilised. And the unit that we actually destroyed was this dreadnought up here. What's his name?
Murderfang.
Murderfang is no more.
He was no more murdering
he was
from
murdered, and now he's nothing but a pile of fangs. And that was because of the huge amount of firepower coming at him from the Stomper. The mega cannons on the flanks all fired in straight lines ahead, and because of that, we managed to immobilise that predator. Take a
as demonstrated by this mob cube.
Yep, mod cube. And down here, though, this Vindicator has lost a hull point as well. And that's pretty much it. We haven't done a huge amount of killing yet because not a lot is in range. So, can the Chaos Wolves strike back with a furry, chaotic vengeance?
No.
Chaos and Space Wolves turn 1. They decided that they were going to unleash all their eggs into one las cannon shaped basket. Yep. So about 15 las cannons, most of them converged on this Stomper, which resulted in a loss of 6 hull points.
Half dead.
Yeah, so it's half dead, meaning that when it comes to the Orc turn, we may want to just clear the vicinity a little bit, because if it explodes with a potential strength D, that could clear out half the table if they bring that down. The other shooting that they managed that couldn't aim at the Stomper, for example, a las cannon on that Land Raider, and some of the shooting from over on that side targeted that vehicle in the corner who was out of the invulnerable save range. As a result of all that, this one was immobilised, losing a hull point in the process. That one over there lost 2 hull points, so he's down to his last one, as you can see there. And the first Orc casualties, tears were shed because we lost 4 grots, I think, didn't we?
No, we lost 3 grots, and a really, really, really nicely painted gobbler.
We did. So the orcs have shed some green tears.
Do you want to touch my gobbler, John? Do you want to touch my... Oh, yes!
So, on that note, the objective that they had was to get onto 2 of the markers, and twice as many as we had, which was 0. So they
We managed to
swiftly
get onto 3.
leapt onto that one, and there's one lurking under there as well. So they picked up D3 victory points for that, which resulted in 3 victory points to our 1 for getting a kill in our turn.
They're in the lead.
3-1 to the Space Wolves and Chaos. But is that going to be enough to bring down this wall of clankety-clank goodness?
Yeah!
Okay, Orc turn 2, and the advance has sped up a little bit, aided by some reserves. You may have noticed that a Mega Dread has appeared over there, and a Lifter Dropper has appeared there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this transport vehicle featuring an armless cyborg has appeared on there.
Andy! Breaking my models!
So they're just going to sit on there just to commemorate the fact that he used to have arms. So, the advance is coming, the firepower isn't stopping anytime soon, and what did we kill off this turn with the massed amount of shooting from the Stomper and all the other Orky vehicles?
We annihilated a transport that was here, killed a couple of guys who got out of it with some shooting. We took hull points off over here, off the Predator and the Rhino.
A super cannon tried to fire at this dreadnought, but fate was not smiling on these cultists because it scattered over them and killed 8 of them in one go.
The mega cannon, belly cannon from the Stomper didn't really do anything. It kind of just scattered off and put another hull point on the Land Raider.
Yeah, the immobilised Land Raider taking another hull point. So no one is into combat yet.
No.
But that'll be coming soon. The objectives we picked up were to collect the objective markers 2 and 6. We're so close, but we don't get any points for that yet. So I have a feeling we are going to get that one, but there's another one that's way in enemy lines that we might not be able to get by the end. But we'll see. So the Chaos and the Space Wolves are still in the lead, and it's going to be their turn too right now. Let's see if they can bring down that Stomper, who actually recovered 2 hull points.
Yep. Got riggers and the mech inside doing their jobs, banging away, making sure it doesn't die.
Okay, Chaos Space Wolves turn 2, and it was very eventful. So for their reserves, the 2 flyers came in, and they parked themselves in the middle of the table, unleashing their fury over here. And the Helldrake decided to use its once per game ability to make its shots extra nasty, as they attempted to bring down that Stomper. But as you can see, it is still alive on a single hull point. Everything fired at it. It seemed like there were endless twin-link las cannons.
One thing would have killed it, but its shields finally kicked in and saved on.
It made, the first time it's made its 5+ invulnerable save, and it was on its final hull point. So it's just clinging on for another turn, and that could be crucial, because another turn of shooting from this bad boy, and then potentially recovering 2 or 3 hull points as well with the various accessories it has on it. So that could be quite big. And did you shoot at anything else? I think they also...
Killer Cans got a bit of a beating.
They missed this tank here with a shot. Killer Cans, one of them was killed, and another one has lost a hull point.
He lost the hull points.
Yeah, the Death Dread was fired at by the single melters that were sitting inside that Rhino, firing out of the crevices. And everything else was just focused on the Stomper, really. So they've again put all their eggs in one big giant basket, and it didn't quite pay off, although he is hanging on by a thread. You'd notice there's a big gap between the Stomper and it, because we don't want to be caught in that blast radius.
Contingency plan.
Yes, I think that gap is going to get even bigger in a minute.
Luckily, it is 10 inches wide.
It's just sitting there steaming, rocking back and forth, and all the orcs are just slowly moving away from it.
They've got to go get those looters out of there next turn. They're disembarking.
Yeah, also, the Unholy Alliance did pick up one more victory point as well for controlling objective number 4. So they've stretched their lead a little bit. We're hoping to get some better luck with the cards next time. We could do with maybe hold objective 2, which I think we already have.
Or objective 1 and then objective 3.
Yeah. Okay, Orks turn 3. We managed to bring in our Ork Patchy helicopter, as it's known. Flew straight on, gunned down the Helldrake in one fell swoop.
Dakka, 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 dakka.
So that was quite tasty.
Good for looting later.
We also got this bad boy onto the table, this Mega Dread. Everything else just moved up a tad, and the Killer Cans got into range to unleash the fury of their Grotzukas into the Thunderwolves, and managed to take down 2 of them. We also, over here, with our Dread, managed to kill the Rhino that then unloaded its cargo of Chaos Space Marines into that crater, who are probably going to try and avenge its death very shortly. And the Stomper managed to get back one of its hull points with the various repair jobs that it can do, and it stayed where it is and unloaded all its firepower, and it didn't do that much, did it?
No, it kind of whiffed a lot of its rolls, unfortunately.
Yeah, we had a lot of misses, and we did kill some of these Chaos Space Marines here, though. The 2 that are left went to ground.
Its Mega Gatler ran out of ammo as well.
Yep, Mega Gatler out of ammo, so it's not quite as potent now.
Morale test on.
Also in that turn, this tank got a hull point back with It Will Not Die.
No.
And as far as victory point goes, we picked up 1 for holding objective marker 2, which is over there. So we're still down 4-2, and we've had a turn more. But we're hoping in the later turns, because of our superior killing power, that we'll be able to just mop up numerous objectives in the later turns.
And every table we win, anyway.
Yes. The Stomper is dead.
He has fallen!
So, Space Wolves and Chaos, turn 3.
Like 68 last cannon shots later.
Yeah, 1 billion las cannon shots and everything else they could muster fired at the Stomper. They finally took him down, and you know what? They even had enough left over to kill the Morkanaut as well.
Yep, they did.
That went down from the hail of melter guns from this squad of Chosen here. And apart from that, also a Death Dread was taken out from over here as well. There's still that guy there, clinging on to his life next to the Grots, who were going to be charged by these Thunderwolves, but they couldn't make it.
No.
Very unfortunate.
Even after re-rolling our charge, we got the same exact dice result.
You can't hurt those cans, can you?
No.
So they're going to charge you, you're going to die, because you can't hit back.
Over here, the Space Wolf Dreadnought decided he would charge into Killer Cans. However, since they were both striking at the same time, they killed him, and he took one of them out as well, so there's just 1 left in that squad with a single hull point left. He picked up 1 victory point this turn for holding this objective under here. Very convenient for them, so they've stretched their lead to 5-2. So we did lose over 1,000 points of models in this turn. So it could potentially turn the tide, but we shall see. We've still got quite a lot of firepower on our side. Orc turn 4. This little mess down here, you may notice the Killer Cans and the Death Dreads charged into the Thunderwolves. They completely cut that guy into 1 billion pieces, but the Warlord remains, and one of our objectives is to kill the Warlord, so we didn't get that right now. We did pick up 1 victory point for killing that wolf, though, from destroying an enemy unit. Over here,
Overwatch with
we killed
30
quite a
rounds.
few Chaos Marines with all our shooting, with the Dread and with the Grots, who chipped in a little bit, and the Looters and all the shooting from over
All
there.
those tanks.
Yeah, we couldn't quite take out the full squad
So
there.
much ordnance.
These tanks here, with all their big shooter capability, killed a single Space Wolf, which wasn't very impressive. And this tank missed again, as it's done every time. Also, the lifter dropper moved this flyer through the air, but couldn't quite destroy it. And then the big shooters on this vehicle couldn't finish it off. It's got a couple of hull points left on it, and it's probably about to leave the table for the moment. So, 1 victory point was earned in that turn, so we're still trailing, but we could turn it around at any time.
It could. No.
So, Chaos and Space Wolf turn 4. The main event, I feel, was that this flyer, they attempted to shoot at it, but because it would have granted them a victory point had they taken out a flyer, but
We hit it, we penned it, it blew up.
But then everybody has a jink. I got a jink. I went into jink mode. And
into
jinked
Jink
it.
mode, and he made his save, so it lives, so that could have helped us to preserve this game. They did pick up 1 victory point for, yet again, drawing the card that gave them a victory point for this, which they've been sat on
I
the
think
whole
you've
game.
rigged this, John. You've rigged those
Yeah, there's something
cards.
very suspicious about the positioning of those cards, Mr. Shuffler over there. This Wolf Lord decided he didn't want to stick around in this little fight here.
Nor did he want to get overwatched by 30 grots. Instead, he got overwatched by 30 other shots.
Yeah, he did. And in this combat, he challenged, and the mech took his challenge willingly, And did they wound each other once, and that was it?
Wolf Lord wounded him twice.
Okay, so the mech's almost dead.
He's going to get one wound and he's
The Wolf Lord only has 2 wounds left now at this point.
Token of wound.
Then, here you'll notice that the killer cans have disappeared. That's because all the weapons that were brought to deal with the Stomper are now free to just shoot whatever they feel like, including the Demolisher cannons and the Vindicators. So, they blew up some killer cans, put a hull point on some of these dreads. This transport has gone, and the junker with force field was destroyed, along with the truck. So these cyborgs have just hopped out, and they lost 3 from the shooting that followed as they piled out of the wreckage. But it's still looking very tense at the moment, very, very close indeed. I think we could have one pivotal turn coming up now. If we can destroy some vehicles, I think we've got a pretty good chance. But they are whittling us down with all those twin-linked las cannons they've got. It's just been an endless stream of twin-linked las cannonry coming from out the Imperial and Chaos side over there. Okay, it's Orc turn 5. And we got some objectives that would give us a point if we secured certain points on the battlefield, such as right there, and over there where the Grots have stayed put. And they fired into the squad of 2 Chaos Space Marines that were there and finished them off, leaving that squad alone because they want to challenge them in a minute and then claim a victory point for that if they stick around for that.
There you go, stick.
Over here, the Wolf Lord finished off the mech that he was in a challenge with, and the others just gathered round waiting for the next turn. We had a lot of very ineffective shooting this turn, mainly from all the vehicles, like these tanks, for example. I think they pretty much all missed.
No. These 2 both hit really well. I just rolled 1 to everything else after that to wound and to penetrate.
Yeah, so they still have their 15 minutes of twin-linked las cannon fire to come in the next turn. And down here, these cyborg slashers charged into these space wolves under the building and killed quite a few of them actually, and maybe next turn they'll finish them off, which would be nice. And this cultist squad took some big shooter fire, and there's only one of them left with his pink hair just standing on that building, possibly not aware that all his friends are dead. And that was the first time anyone has intentionally fired at the cultists during this game.
And now it's just all by myself.
All the previous casualties they suffered were from accidental scattering of templates onto them. Turn 5 for Chaos and Space Wolves, and with an almighty round of shooting with all their 270 twin-linked las cannons and additional 35 non-twin-linked las cannons, they managed to take down 2 of the 3 Orc vehicles positioned in that corner. They managed to take down this one as well. They managed to take down 2 Death Dreads and a Mega Dread.
What about the Grots?
And they spent about an hour shooting Grots down because they wanted to desperately kill that runt herd.
So many las cannons.
And the runt herd was butchered eventually, even though about 15 Grots did dive in the way and make successful lookout sir rolls to save him.
5 or 6 lookout sir attempts all successful. But
So basically what we discovered is that whenever someone brings a Stomper to the game and the enemy is built to take it down, as soon as it's dead they suddenly find themselves with 1 billion twin-linked las cannons available to shoot at other things, which meant that it was toasty time for most of these Orc vehicles eventually. So they picked up quite a few victory points for killing a character, which was the runt herd, and for claiming various objectives, since they did repeatedly get the cards for the objectives they were sitting right on. So we worked out that it's not really possible for us to claw back any kind of decent score in the next turn. So we're not even going to roll, we're just going to end it there. The Orcs have been fought back, and now the Chaos and the Space Wolves can continue their fight for the Emperor's toiletries and bathroom products. Now, if we were to continue now, they would just turn around and start shooting at each other while the Orcs repair their Stomper. And then they would probably get a nasty shock in the morning. So, again, action-packed excitement left and right, hilarious dice rolling all over the place.
Dice rolling all over the place. Not a single shield save made.
Yeah,
not one shield save.
All those points spent on shield, they didn't really help.
No.
Can you do a bleep effect?
There's going to be a lot of bleep effects.
Yeah.
So Tom's diet's done well for him, hasn't it?
I'm amazed.
It's good. It's fantastic.
You do, absolutely.
Oh, you little
maybe,
dance.
maybe not now. That was